the Love Show Radio Podcast.
But in my ear, I'll make a melody.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Love Show Radio Podcast. It's your boy, Tubby Love, and today's special guest is the one, the only, Chompzilla, the rap god herself, Lily Fangz.
I lean over. Okay. Because I thought this was a cool placement where normally things are not above the pocket. Just low key, but a bit OG. Hated on by most y'all who ain't got no snowmobiles and no Jeeps. His friend's dad's name is Jeep.
That's a great name.
It's a good name. About water snakes. Thank you. Woo!
Amazing.
We're so out here. Deep.
Welcome to the Chompcast. One time
Renewed.
in the place to be here at Stone Cottage Studios.
Big shout outs. Big gratitudes.
Boulder.
And the love. Check out this heart here with us. Love cast.
Check out
My
this
dude.
heart here with us. Miss Mosaic.
Hey.
Fangang.
What's good?
This is rare air
Facts.
to be here together in this moment. We've traversed many obstacles to land in these green velvet chairs together on this beautiful day, approaching our season. We're in our season
We
right
are
now.
in this. Can I say I'm a cuss? We in this bitch. We in this bitch. Yes, we're approaching crab capital, the capital of Cancerian activities.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, my dude's birthday is about 1 week.
My dude's birthday's
Quattro.
Free Slurpee Day.
Yeah, free Slurpee Day.
Represent.
Pull up. Oh, man.
So good. And speaking of being born,
I did that one time. How did you find that to be?
oh man.
He's 4th of July. I'm just going to leak that info. And so there's always fireworks when you're born. Pretty cool.
When you asked that, I was like, what did it feel like to be born?
Do you remember?
I was trying to in that moment.
Because a lot of people recall.
I don't really.
I don't either. There's photos of it because I was born at home. And I'll jump right in if you were going to ask me about probably not that origin, but I'm
Sure.
going to share. I don't think I've ever shared on anything. The moment of birth and the altar of it was a space my parents set up in their bedroom. Prayer was high and the mantras were going. They had met as practitioners, devotees in a ashram, and everyone's pictures were everywhere. All the G's, all the gurus, and all the good vibes were popping. And so why I bring this up is because I have photos of that time, and I retroactively think I remember the vibe and coming into it. It was like lots of candles, lots of pink and silks and velvet and golds, and it was an eclipse. The moon and the sun were on top of each other for a totality of about 4 minutes, which is like a bit long, I think.
That makes
I've
sense.
been studying more about it recently of what exactly was afoot. But yeah, it does make sense because that's an intense thing and I'm intense. And that's what all my astrologer homies are like, yeah, eclipses are, it's a lot, but it's real portally, you got to think like that occurrence. And so that path, that transit, that overlap was best seen from a few locations in the world, and Hawaii was one of them. Most astronomers travel to Diamond Head crater on Oahu, and so there's like a big notability of that, as well as this one area in Mexico and in Costa Rica. And so it's like this Tropic of Cancer, because that was the time it was popping. And anyways, those nodes that I've since now tracked, I've spent time on Oahu. I've been to that exact location in Costa Rica and in Mexico. And those have been really powerful places in my life. But anyway, back to the being born thing. I don't remember it per se, but the vibes seemed hella tight. My mom, I know she took a fat walk around the lake 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. My mom's walking around the lake, chucking up a prayer to the water gods and whatnot, and then had me while she was standing up, because gravity, duh. I love that I'm speaking about my mother standing, giving birth to me as the first thing here. Because, as we locked in this week, or I shared, I'm hoping to birth this album. The working title has been Mosaic. I think that is so much more than just the title. It's a permission slip and a umbrella and a plethora or an abundance of sometimes things that are like, what are these things doing together? But the togetherness is what makes them make sense. Feel me? Like, it is all related to my nature. And they are all pieces that on their own they stand alone. They actually are solid. And together, they make sense as well. And mosaics date back to the Byzantine Empire. Mosaics are really throwback when you essentially are taking pieces, small pieces of anything to make a more congregated whole, which is my intention in so many areas of life, of like making more wholeness out of fracturedness. And mosaics are beautiful because they're exactly that. You can't see it when you're close up, really, but you kind of take a step back and it's a bunch of fractured pieces that make sense. And this is a audio biographical exploration, and it's a auditory mosaic where there's going to be some sharp edges and things that don't like quite fit, but with the molding and the grooving and the isness in between, then it can mush together. And like, that's the larger permission slip, is birth this mosaic. And it's got a variety of tones and genres and BPMs and frequencies and topics. And instead of boxing in to like, all right, this project's got to be this is this, it felt true over the years. These have been collected over the last 8 to 10 years, the songs that are going to be on this joint. And it's like, well, just mush it together with the isness of self, and mostly the love, like, not to be corny, but that's the stuff that will bring it all together. And it's like, yeah, it's a humble glue, powerful, and requires kind of trust. And it's fine. People can also take it, what am I trying to say? Like, I cherry pick sometimes off of projects or in general in life right now with the immediate gratification. And that's cool too. Mosaics are so cool because you can look at one chunk and be like, that's a dope tile or section, and that's all I prefer. Or you can enjoy the whole thing together.
Something for everyone.
Maybe. It's not my job, but yeah. I used to think it was. I can't. That's growing. That's what birthing season really is. We're growing into. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you. I'm curious though. There's this requirement of realizing like, I just really control no one else, barely myself. I'm at the altar of disciplining my mind, my heart, my word, my action, my intention. But like, as far as pleasing everyone, something I've been suffering with most of my life, consciously or unconsciously, I think I'm finally growing up into that realization that like, there might not be something for everyone on what I like to do with my feelings and art and offering. And can I stand on business and sit in that and be okay with that like, yeah, I'm really not everyone's cup of tea. That's new for me. That's new for me. I've wanted to be palatable. Or maybe people just don't like tea. Yeah, a lot of people don't like tea. That part. Not all my people is over in the UK though. I had so much tea when I lived in England. Everywhere you go, like you, and I'm dealing with some like thugs. These were like some awesome,
with the pinky out.
These are some really fly underground rappers that you come in the spot though, and they're like, "Would you like a spot of tea?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." Yeah, it just gets me thinking of I'm sure you have all the art that gets made with love, excitement, and intention, but maybe never sees the light of day, but still fed you in the moment and experience of. And that's like sometimes what keeps you going is the inspiration of what might be, or giving your all in that moment, or learning from whoever you're around at that time. That's just as valuable as ideally we'd love to share it with the world, but sometimes there's some nuggets that are just for you and they get to stay in your lore. But yeah, anyways, I'm not everyone's tea.
That's crazy because you have such an extensive catalog of those songs that you've recorded. Like you were telling me about laptops that you had with entire catalog that got stolen. Bless it. All the creators. 3 times.
Yeah.
Put your music out.
Back your shit up or put it out. Put it out is more the one. Not back it up. Just put it out. But there's that wobble in between. Put it. I guess I could have learned. Because I didn't learn that 3 times, then I didn't put my shit out. Right. So there's something in me that still has like had to be up against the final boss, whether it's the perfectionism boss or what. Or really I got to look at, it's that I don't like being moved by fear. So this is tricky because you're right, it's still important to push it out and not let the same thing happen. For me, I'm the only one, to blame. Unfortunately, we've got a dog-eat-dog parasitic world. People take things or jack your shit or hit a lick because that's what they need to do. But I'm the one who repeated that pattern of letting my stuff be vulnerable enough to get robbed and not backed up anywhere. And none of it hit hard enough to move from the scarcity of like, well, let me just put this shit out in case it happens again. I still remained in the like, no, just keep working on this shit until it's like just been a big trust. Not super dope for my, pride or ego. And it's not been glamorous to keep getting up when you get knocked down, but it's like they say any good fighter is not, you can throw a good hit, but it's how you take a hit, which I'll decide how I feel about that.
Hey, 3rd time's a charm though. It's like, it's put you in this season. Like I have the privilege. I was saying earlier, it's rare air, but we've been in the stew. We've been cooking.
We've been cooking this week, y'all.
We're at the studio and Lils has this amazing spot. And we've just been up there. She's got her whiteboard with the songs that are going on this record and all the different projects she's got open with so many different people. I mean, your catalog is so extensive, from Bandcamp to the stuff that's out on Spotify to the stuff that's on your laptop to the acoustic versions.
The mixtapes people have that we'll never know. I used to, there's probably like 300, 400. I mean, I guess that's the case for any musician who used to make jewel case CDs, but like mixtapes, if anyone has a mixtape,
come on,
circa years 2012 to 2021, a burned CD, some of those have joints that were on those robbed laptops, and then the only evidence of those songs is on those CDs. Does that make sense?
That's incredible.
So they're out there, and that's great.
Yeah, well, get them back to us, and we'll give you a prize.
Yeah.
And now with AI, we could just like...
We could reverse engineer whatever, flip it, strip it, make it work. But it's also sweet. I like the kind of preciousness of them only existing in that way. Yeah. And then what you've been teaching me, a lot of my peers, a lot of fellow folks I adore, about keeping it moving.
Ooh, you gotta lose something to find out that you're everything. It's like, ooh, you gotta lose something to find out, It's been 3 times now that I've had my hard drive robbed. First the shock set in, and then the inner kid sobbed. All that work, all that time, mad sweat, mad grind, all those beats, all the photos, all that effort, all the rhymes. Not to mention interspersed was the death of my aces. Like 10 in 10 years, each of their faces. I see migraines on a daily, cancer diagnosis, heartbreak or 2. What the fuck? Oh shit, grief knocking down the door like what it do. I guess it's just my teacher, I guess it's how I grew. split my chest in half, yeah, I split it right in two. I grew a love so big, there's only room for truth, yeah. Pick myself up again and again. I know it's cliche to say, but the art's from within. Better late than never, guess I'm dropping it now. Cause I had to lose it all to fuck around and find out.
Moving, we keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down.
Yeah, that felt good to put out.
That one is one of your tracks. There's a few others that are like on the Spotify, but there's a whole grip on Bandcamp of like Lily Fangz,
Production.
100%ers.
100%ers. It's a good way to put it. Yeah, I love producing. I'm novice, but at this point, 5 or 6 years in the kind of cave with it. And I think that's becoming emergent soon. I'm feeling excited. I was going to say confident, but like excitement can be more important than confidence. I remember when I used to, so we're jumping all around, but I first started ever being performative outwardly as a poet, right? And just like poetry readings, but then slam poetry and ton of nerves before I had my shit memorized or was super confident. And I bring this up because, you know, someone said to me what probably you've been told is like the only difference between nervousness and excitement, there's this fear element that makes excitement into nervousness. I thought there's some invisible like ready rule where you can like share and claim yourself as I'm confident as a poet, confident as a writer, confident as a rapper, becoming more confident as a vocalist after I got my tonsils cut out of my throat and ate LSD. That's another story. But like the confidence as a producer or a musician, even those were like, nah, that never shall be the case. But like anything, you get intimate with it and put in thousands of hours. And at some point, I realized I was waiting around for someone to tell me like, okay, you're good now. And really it's just, are you excited about it? Are you proud of it? Do you want to share? Do you feel like a kid at show and tell? Is it honest? Is it, you know, are you honest about where your room for improvement is, but like also honest about how much work you've put in and the joy of remaining curious around it. So after the 5-year mark and the past few years, I think a lot of MCs come across like not wanting to wait for a beat. You write a fire verse, but you don't have a canvas for it. And so I was like, I'm gonna stretch my own canvas. I'm gonna learn to just make simple beats. Start on Fruity Loops and like some boom bap stuff. And Jay Dilla was like hugely always influential. But now, yes, I can feel access to make both my instrumentals, my beats, and write my verses, choruses, and kind of decently mix them down and share. So I've removed most of the obstacles that were in my way. Besides the one last obstacle, really, that gets in the way. But keep moving. I'd say prior to that, Low Again, which came out on the streaming platforms.
Love that track. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a push, like just because I was true to form, I was low. I was like experiencing pretty consistent depression and low energy levels. And my prayer with it was like, well, I can't be the only one. But I hesitated because even having friends like you or friends in the more conscious music scene that is to speak life and upfulness and positivity is what is a reason I allowed myself to hold back a lot of content, because what was true for me for 8 years or so was pretty much just like, kind of chunky, funky mental health and not lower vibrations, because as we said the other day, honesty is a pretty high vibration. But I was taking my responsibility seriously, that words are power, that words are spell. So if there's a song out there that spins and it's like, oh, I'm feeling low again, which is just a sick sample I pulled and flipped. But the content is about, you know.
I've been feeling like I might never let go. I've been feeling like I'm running around in circles. I've been feeling Cupid's got me in a chokehold. Wanna change it up, but I gotta take it slow. So low.
What I ended up realizing was honest, and that is high vibration. But the verses essentially are like, ooh, I'm back here at square one and ground zero, and gosh, that can feel overwhelming. But it empowered me to get it out. And each time we do that, there's some momentum that can be felt, because it's like you're completing a full circuit of the system as a channel, and you step away and just get to like serve the muse correctly in a way that pleases it, instead of, that's the only issue with my holding on and the congestion and the constipation, is like the muse doesn't like that, I don't think. And like we were even saying this morning of just how to be with what's alive right now. Because we're in a culture that is like, okay, productify every good thought you've ever had, or every song seed, bring it into form, and like try and not let any strays fall away. And I'm actually realizing maybe the best artists just don't take heed to that at all, and they actually just stay on the pulse of what's true and alive, but maybe have their systems and teams set up to really kind of keep up with that. So that's the goal. Keep moving described a lot of the stuff we're talking about, at least in the third verse. First two verses are pretty ego saucing, but I get honest about some of the trials and tribs of the last decade with health issues and chronic migraine. That's probably been my main creative director, is migraines and cancer diagnoses and heartbreaks and robbery of the hard drives. So setbacks, but we keep
and
moving.
Friends leaving the planet as well.
Hard.
The angels
It's been the most psychedelic experience to have I'd say an abnormal amount of dear friends departed, or maybe not abnormal, which is even more fucked up. You've got a really fat drug war epidemic that has been the case for several decades now, and you've got some pretty socioeconomically devised systems within inner city. So you got people that have an abnormal amount of departed friends under age 30, 40. That's why I said that. I'm not special. And it's something to really grieve properly about, speak about, feel about, and I've had no other choice than to grieve, it's almost like a bully that pushes your head into the like toilet bowl. And what was that called? Like a swirly, man, just nonstop grief swirlies. This morning even, and the better I get with the technology of it, like knowing when it wants to happen. We do these mini seance, like basically a lot of the homies, a few of them are incredible musicians, were, whatever, time's not linear, but they really like it. It feels like when I play their music or talk about them. So thanks for bringing that up. But until I figured out how to work with that, which is the wisdom I'm in now in the pursuit as I develop and kind of self-initiate out of being just a kid, and I'm a, woman on a wisdom path. It's like how to work with the grief and loss and pain and things that have been my main teachers. And one of them is celebration for sure, and talking about it unabashedly. But until I figured that out, it was a lot of holdups, like really fucked up off grief for big seasons, and that informed health issues. In my belief, they have a feedback loop. If you hold it in your body, like this morning I was like, oh, my head hurts, and I've now seen the pattern enough times that when my head hurts, there's a emotion, I don't know what it is, but something that wants to move, and then my fucking job is to stop everything else I'm doing and figure out how to let that move, whether it's like some deep belly laughter, a song that wants to happen, anger that I got to get in the gym about, or wails of like the cry form, not the animal, but wails are the OG grievers. deep tone holding of the bottom belly of the ocean, which like makes the world go round, quite literally. I mean, can we talk about octopus yet?
Yo, right? The whole reason that we set up these microphones and these cameras is really to talk about octopuses. What we call it when we say octopi. Do you know properly what the plural?
A group of octopus is called a consortium, which is baller, super baller, or council. They don't squat up though very much. They're pretty individual creatures. They're pretty observational and isolated. That's like their thing. There is a species that, and they're finding more about. There's always more to learn about the ocean and its creatures, but there is a strain. I don't think strain of octopus is the right word, but there is a species that corroborates more community style. And that's really cool. They have birthing nurseries and they pull up on each other. But that is not true for the majority of octopus species. They live their life alone without parents. Their mother gestates sitting on the many eggs, and maybe half or 3/4 of them survive. We're talking millions. Again, not for all species, but like, let's take the Pacific red octopus, for example. They're really cool because they sit the longest. So what I'm trying to say is all mother octopus sit on their eggs and don't do nothing. They meditate. They don't do anything. They just be, and they wither away and they die as the protection for what is about to be hundreds and thousands of more of them. So this is me anthropomorphizing and projecting some psychedelic kind of notion that they know they're fractaling. Like they know they are about to be, so they don't fight for their own survival. They don't go hunt. They don't, motion in all the ways that would be needed to keep the vitality in them. They just become the next iteration of, like much more. And just with those Pacific red octopuses, they do that for years. They sit for years in meditation. I'm calling it meditation, but they sit for years. Senescence is actually what it's called, which may be another album. But that's when they're moving towards death. The slow death is senescence. They lose their color. They lose their texture density. And I think that's just really baller that all the mothers go Buddha and become nothing so that millions of them can then, the only thing is they pop out fully like the correct ratios of design, tiny little cuties, but tiny and really vulnerable. And then they grow, and like octopus are incredible that they can be that small. We're talking a quarter, a dime, a quarter, and some grow, where their length measurements are over 6 feet. Like off of what? I mean, they hunt, but it's just like life force. That's incredible. The intelligence of that, the cellular information that's in anything's DNA to become more of itself and then become everything, nothing. And like, that's so fascinating to me. DNA and genetics was my first studies at university. And like, the only thing that could pull me away from that study was music. And it's interesting. It's been coming back in my life in different ways because we're also on the precipice of mad, interesting conversations culturally as humans. I'm being tangential, I know.
No, it's great.
It's
you are the Octo Don, essentially the mother sitting on all of your Octo children, being your songs that you're birthing right now.
Variety of projects
Yeah.
that my hope of hopes would be to serve well and then live beyond me, outlive. And it is a big fear because of like the dead homies I mentioned, or in general, I think for humans, you know, to not do everything you want or share everything you want before this one wild and precious life is terminated. And so I can only hope to give to these things. There's more than just the music, but definitely all those babies. And that is a really cool a technology we have to, what's it called? You had all these conversations about postponing natural human death. Art is one way we've always been able to do that. You know, people are trying to hack the genome and like make humans immortal, which I think there's some pros and cons, but ultimately it's like, we've always had the technology of art and transcribing word and song and expression. And I really do believe things live on through that. Not in the way, of course, we're talking about like mortal pleasures and indulging in experience through sensorial happenings. But like we listen to, you know, Andy Wake Self.
Heaven is a venue.
Heaven is a venue, which is a line off his track.
God don't have political agendas. God don't work for corporations. God is transgender. Some of these politicians, they're secret clan members. So-called houses of God are run by sexual offenders. God don't start no wars, see, that's the thing that men do. God takes all our favorite artists. Heaven is a venue. Peace. You are God, so there's really only you and God. This is for the non-believers searching for the proof of God. I see the vision, I just want to be an instrument. Inside of God's kingdom, you could never be an immigrant, no. God is black, God is indigenous, God is Indian, God is Israeli and Palestinian, God is listening. God has been proven by a physicist. Different dimensions felt through the spirit, human experience. God is not a privilege, God don't see no differences. God is a feminist and God is no supremacist,
And he's got these 3 albums before he got murdered that allow us to really feel him this morning. He was in the fucking kitchen with us. And so that's what I mean about immortality and preservation of spirit, at least for the purpose of, you know, like the motherly energy. We felt his motherly energy, and that song Keep On is like,
keep on, as long as you got the will to try, take the will and drive another obstacle and hill to climb. Now stay driven and complete each step. Learn to use your ambition as a GPS. Right, break loose from the pain, don't let it break you. Right before you break down, you might have been close to a breakthrough. You can try and fail, but if you don't try, you fail. It's okay to be lost when you're trying to find yourself. Broke the latches out the ashes, rose the phoenix. I'm just a bunch of stitched together broken pieces. One time for the inner struggles that we deal with, and all the various wounds that haven't healed yet. When times are tough and you're going through it the worst, to create a new life you have to grow into it first. Keep going if it hurts and you feel your vision is blurry. Understand progress is not a linear journey. Come on.
Keep on longing, we keep on dreaming. Keep on longing, we keep on dreaming. Keep on longing, we keep on dreaming. Keep on doing what you do, never give up believing. Just try, just try. Try, you just try.
Yeah.
I guess I bit him with Keep Moving. You know, it's the same energetic. Like it's like acknowledging there's going to be difficulties. That's the design, and keep it stepping. Keep it stepping. That was one of my first tattoos on my feet.
Talk about the tattoos and talk about these canvases that you have here. So you have a consortium of canvases.
I do.
You brought some of them here with you if you want to hold some up.
I brought a few, and these are my really caricatured cutie pie. This is off I saw a sticker of an octo. That's more of an alien, hey? But I was inspired, so that's off a likeness of a sticker I saw. And all of these critters, I think, want to become like a maybe a series, maybe they're all in a cartoon or something together. They're all
Yeah.
they're all character guys.
And you did a gallery.
Yes, that was so awesome.
I mean, you did 365 of these last year, correct?
In 2024 to 2025. In 2023 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what stint it was, but I did one every day for a year, over a year. So there's maybe 400 or 500, but definitely 365 in different mediums. And that's just because I was losing my fucking mind. And I needed to make sure I was showing up to doing something every day. And the Octos, as you can tell, have been just a huge special interest and love and resonance and curiosity and teacher. And I can get more woo-woo than that, but basically painting and drawing and visual arts and dance, those were my first loves before I ever found my voice or felt safe in my voice. And so I just returned to that. And whether it was sketching an octopus once a day or watercolor painting it, or I have big ass ones like 6-foot canvases or these cartoony little guys or really realistic, hyper realistic ones I'd spend 4 or 5 hours on or scribble one out. And the importance of that I recommend to any artist, visual, word, musical, or otherwise, is I just got to really re-hone my discipline of showing up for something every day, no matter the fuck what. And it became like a journal. Like I could kind of see how I was feeling if that octopus was an angry scribble that I got out in 10 minutes, or if it was a really meticulous, like ink pen and acrylic guy. And
is there a place where we can pick some of these up?
Yeah, so all the prints will be available. I'm kind of transferring my landing pages and domains, but it's currently planetfangs.org, where there will be the gallery of Octo prints and canvases and merch, and the anti-genre merch.
Wait.
We'll edit this. Run it back.
Anti-genre merch. Okay, so now we got to go there. We got to go there.
Hey. Dun 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 dun.
She repping.
I'm repping right now, and this is a homemade
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Hoodie that gives me a lot of joy.
Anti-genre.
Got one for you.
Let's go.
And that topic is like it encompasses everything we've been touching on. That there's no rules. You don't got to pick a lane. Fuck all that. Don't got to pick a genre or flavor. It's valuable to hone one thing and get in close and intimate relation. But I recently have just been like, wait a second. Maybe if you're worried about being boxed in, like burn the box down. Like fuck a genre. Fuck the rules. And anti-genre is this brand that is mainly moving in the form of gear and clothes and fly ass one of one shit. We sold like 60 or 70 on tour with Mahali in December 24. Shout out Mahali for sure.
Also a great collab record that you just put out.
Wonderful human, wonderful musician, such an inspiring, hardworking individual. And like here, for example, like his large project, Twiddle, it was a genre of jam brilliance, and they mobbed. And then his Swerve, because he's such a fun songwriter with reggae chops and roots folk, is like he's taken it into these other genres and given himself the permission slip to do so. And if he didn't give himself that permission slip, the world will be missing on like his last album, which was so awesome and different than Twiddle. Really, really different. We've got that record, Cool Runnings, and it wasn't quite out yet when we were on tour, but when we were on tour was the first time I brought, all the anti-genre gear and the little octos.
Oh, it's right here?
Oh, we need it. So these are all hand-sewn and made by my friend Susan. And shout out Susan.
Oh, it's got a hat.
Yeah, the hats all are interchangeable. I wish I brought a few so you could see, but these will be up on the shop as well. And I think handmade stuff these days is really what's up. They've all got a different kind of vibe and imprint. And we can also, I mean, the plan will be to have people send in maybe one of their favorite jackets or sweatshirts and get it sauced up, like some patches we're doing or prints, or at least have the anti-genre printed on if you resonate with that at all, because it's a larger brand than just music. The intention is talking about not genreifying human beings, not genreifying hopes and dreams, and dissecting the nature of like humans to evolve. Let me try and say that again.
Come on.
We can really put a ceiling on the potential of a human when we box or genreify them. And I think life is about, quite a bit of trial and error, and ultimately participating in our own evolution. So changing a lot. And if you don't give yourself and others permission to change genres, whether that's try on new belief systems, operate differently relationally, express or identify in ways that become truer and truer to you, then we're really congesting the process of human evolution, which is human expression. That's one of the parts of human evolution, is like we have historically found ourselves through observation and expression. And so anti-genre gets to be a safe space, large conversation for people exploring things that may be historical to their own life, hasn't been true, available, or safe. And obviously, it's easiest to look at that through music, you switching it up from what was first true to your origin to then giving yourself permission to follow your joy in the last half decade. And that's a real genre flip. And if we were worried about, which I know you've had moments of, or I've had moments about being worried, what will land or be well received, and that can keep you stuck. And so I guess anti-genre's biggest motion is to let's get unstuck together. Let's get moving. Let's get dancing. Let's get expressing. And let's really validate everyone's exploration of that. And so just rep your it's also a kind of a anti-disestablishmentarianism, fuck the system like that, because any system that's going to suppress your truest true or your truest possibility, and it's going to be the own individual's sovereign activation around that. There's clearly like a fall of system, and if we think it's going to be one next person in office or one record label or one, style icon that's really going to, if you're waiting for the permission in that way, you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting for a long while. So I like watching everyone giving themselves permission. It's huge.
That's like the biggest reason why I just feel like so many people gravitate to what you represent. You are a representative of anti-genre, walking in the flesh, and of Mosaic, all the pieces that make you unabashedly, and you wear it on your skin, literally.
I do.
And you were showing me a picture yesterday of baby Lily without any tattoos at a wedding.
Nah, I was birthed with all of these.
Yeah.
But yes, that way more.
Which has also been therapy for you, right? It's another form of therapy.
Totally. There's this song, Eli, actually, who I think we made a note to touch on, Grouch and Eli. But Eli, love you, bro.
But you have a track with both of them individually.
That's right. And I got to go, one of my first tours, no, I had done a few, but one of my first real hooligan proper rap tours was opening for the Living Legends. The whole squad got back together.
Wow.
And we did a bunch of dates, and they had me just solo dorky female MC opening up these Full House nights. And anyways, really, really raucous. But Eli, I believe's got a joint that's like transfer my inner pain to my outer frame. And that is one of the things tattoos have been for me. And I look at that photo that we looked at the other day, and I'm like, sometimes wish maybe that I could like wake up in the morning and choose a few simulation options, because there is a way you get looked at. I wouldn't know. I don't really remember, or I do remember what it's like to be perceived as a little bit more conservative, or just not expressed in that way, or divergent. You know, it's changing, obviously. Everyone has tattoos. They're kind of whatever now. But there's like a cleanness and a not cleanness around having them that may be my own shit for sure. But I like to keep it a buck. I sometimes regret all these. And then other times I love them. And that speaks as well to just how we are always changing and differing. So it's like, how can I just be the observer of that part that's like, bitch, why did you get all of those? Or, you know, like, wow, so cool, you must be cool. And the days I think I'm all cool and a hotshot because I have a throat tattoo, it's like, no, bitch, you're cool if you can speak your truth from that throat, not because you like sat through, you know, a sufferfest of, these actually weren't that painful. I get that asked the most of like, did that kill you? I actually fell asleep during the spiders, like it was soothing, the neck tattoos. But yeah, it's cool to keep the treasures and the different things. Some of them I don't identify with anymore at all.
That's how I feel about songs.
Yeah. Boom. Boom. And it's like they represented you at a time though. And that's special. And so like I've got some silly ones that were true at one time, and that's still special. And they have tattoo removal machines now if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do all that. I just been wanting to get a face tat so bad, and everyone tells me no. Because now it's too much of a thing.
That reminds me, you met Post Malone right here in Boulder, right?
Hey. Yeah, and we're going to make a record. I'm putting that on wax. I'm putting that down the street, yeah. A couple summers ago. He was such a sweetheart. He had a Magic the Gathering jacket on. It was dumb fly. Super, if anything else, shouted nerd more. But yeah, I think I rapped for him. I was really nervous. I just started like speaking in rhyme. Started freestyling. And yeah, he's awesome.
If you could... what are like some just off the dome, like top 3 artists that you would maybe want to collab with in this lifetime?
Oh, cool. Yeah, Post Malone is one of them, actually, I think. Just on some like, I would love to do some real stripped down kind of like rock guitar and sing rap moments, but no crazy production needed. Missy Higgins, I don't know where she's at. She was an Australian singer-songwriter that really inspired me when I was young. She's on the keys, most of her things. And I just really liked the tone of her voice and her writing. Man, I'd like to make a record with Slug. You know, Atmosphere was super influential. Really consumed a lot of all the Rhymesayers label. So that would just feel appropriate and be dope. Lauryn Hill, that would be dope. I'm trying to think of like some obscure. I'm noticing myself wanting to be like really, you know, like
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, yo, that would go. That would really go.
Yeah, you've been telling me you're really into film scoring.
Yes. Yeah, I've only got to do this One Homies documentary and a compilation of a few different projects my friends are working on, and then some more, one kind of like formal thing where it's not a homie in, which was more a hired. I really like, I've always seen music visually, not like synesthesia style. I mean, I do get some color and vibes, but I've always, maybe it was just consuming a lot of music videos when I was young, but I really thought of the cinematic nature, even if it wasn't a cinematic track, but just the storyline or visual representation of the audio I was hearing, working with, or making. And so then scoring is kind of reverse engineering that. I'm receiving the visuals, the storyline, the film, where it's going, what it's been, what it's trying to say, or just what it needs. and then I'm serving that in a very like honest service. It's different than making a song from your emotions that you have a goal with. The goal is to serve something well, to make a cohesive sensational experience. And that's really dope because it turns off the overwhelmed part of my mind with personal work that's like, I've got to get this emotion across or this cool thought or this cool rhyme. It's like, no, you got to make this click. And then there's the technical stuff. You've got to make the sound of that door closing, or you got to make the crunching of the glass under that shoe in the alleyway. But then you can like totally, music changes the vibe of everything. I mean, how, when you get on your skateboard or whatever, do you feel way more badass if there's a like dope Jedi Mind Tricks track or just something that you really vibe with?
It was
versus
Lettuce live in Tokyo for me. We used to bomb
Rinse.
We used to bomb the parking garages on our longboards, and it was always Lettuce or Soul Live
in Tokyo.
Which you have a track with Break Science.
Yeah, they are good wizards who, I guess, just through the Denver scene, we've all weaved. I'm trying to think.
That's crazy. I rolled up on you in that session with them at the studio where I recorded some stuff as well.
What was it, side 3? We were in Denver, and we should find if we have footage from that day.
Quick as a sunset, I'm heady again. Read too many books, I should be ready to win. He said he's shredding with the bread, it's so confetti again. Gold body in my body, so I'm steady within. Steady within.
Steady within.
Mm-hmm.
I like those bars a lot, and I like the production. It's dark, it's a low-key vibe, it's very mechanical and like, but also symphonic, and there's some gospel samples and shit. And the chorus is a nice attempt of a mantra to reflect to myself. It's like, steady within, steady within. It just repeats that, so I won't get into it. But yeah, Borum and Adam are both like pinnacle jam geniuses and have been so warm and welcoming me and encouraging always in my endeavors. And then, yeah, obviously Adam plugs in and the whole Lettuce. I mean, that would be cool when you talk about collabs. It's like more cross genre is really interesting to me. So like funk and jazz and funk, jazz, and jam, reggae, and hip hop plugs nicely into all of those. But electronic music allows us to really cross-scathe a lot of things where I think the attention spans are such that I'm not trying to cater to that, but I know personally it feels good when shit's switching a lot. And then it also feels good to be present for long form, slowed. Like, we listened to what's Bella Fleck's spinoff trio project.
Ooh, so
what's
good.
it called? Anyways, that was really nice beat trio to get tuned in with. And yeah, I guess I'm just appreciating all music right now.
Anti-genre, baby.
Anti-genre.
But I do love that with electronic music, it's like that's a place where all of it can kind of land in this remix realm, which is
real. Yeah.
Real. And some of my favorite records, I mean, I guess I'm just obsessed with electronic music. We're making a like kind of a house music banger right now.
Not kind of.
Okay.
I mean, I know you meant the kind of in the house and then the what genre, but it's not kind of a banger. It's an all the way banger. And yeah, I mean, it's certainly house, and it's certainly chest knocking and fist pumpy and like 4 on the floor. But I've never made a 130, no, maybe 130 BPM, gotten up towards. But yeah, this permission slip to bring still emotion and musicality and song form. So we're still running like a verse, chorus, verse vibe, where there's holding to that integrity as songwriters in some way. No rules, not that it has to be like that. But yeah, electronic is just, it's being true to the moment we're in now as a civilization in a lot of ways. Like, I think it's mad cool to be fully analog and just track off the tape. That's what I used to do when I was young, for sure, and throwback and like a lot of other genres that appreciate appreciate and require that almost. I'd say there's like an incredible folk project my friends are working on that you can feel the pace of truth and like non-electronic orientation that holds, it just holds the mana of what it is. But we're gathering mana in this electricity way that we're able to do with technology and cut and splice and these ways of being with Metatron and the dance floor. And it's just like kind of keeping it a buck for how to stay vibrant in the here and now and fun. It's just been so fun. To think about. My favorite part of this joint we're cooking this week is like kind of like teleporting and feeling the fun or joy or aliveness that it might invite into the system of someone listening in a large crowd through a large system or in a dope car speaker system and cruising and feeling, or in their headphones, like hi-fi or otherwise. It's just, we can do cool stuff at this point with electronic production. And I've finally moved out of the stage where I'm like judging or shaming that. Because frankly, as much of a consumer as I was of electronic music, I had some weird thing where I'm like, yeah, but it's not real. It's strictly for entertainment. And
like there's not real emotion involved.
Yeah, I had some story that it's just like, it doesn't require the skill that MC sweating over writing their bars or an instrumental. And then I've come to get closer to the processes and so many of my producer friends, or considering myself a producer, now it's like, oh, it's actually all of that is welcomed. It's all of that in a skillful, cohesive way. I mean, that's the dopest cuts, is when it is in a skillful, cohesive way, because you have tons of noise. And that was my beef. Well, even though I love some good noise, like dubstep raised me also. But I think we're appreciating cats that are doing this like symphonic production, like it's new age symphony choices in a skillful, intentional, cohesive way that preserves the emotion and ignites the emotional centers. I just said emotion twice, but like, yeah, I guess everything is in motion. Everything's energy in motion. So this track we made by now, is energy in motion. And it's like questioning how everyone else's energy in motion feels. Like, does it all feel the same? We'll never quite get to know. That's always tripped me out. You never get to know exactly how someone else's experience is going. And so that hook being, does it feel like this for everyone, is just a genuinely juicy existential hitter, like that we can dance to.
Amen. Shout outs to Odessa. We were listening in this amazing studio here at Stone Cottage last night upstairs on this incredible system. If you're in Boulder, you got to come by on Pearl Street.
19th and Pearl.
Check this spot out. The speaker system upstairs is just unreal, and listening to the Odessa tracks come through those speakers took me back to seeing them live in San Francisco. And I feel like our track has a lot of that similarity just in textures and tones, that modern day symphonic thing, the drum line. And I also just want to shout out my brother Scott Flynn, who's here in Colorado, who pretty much inspired this Love Show radio podcast. In general. Scott. Such an amazing musician. And I just love that brother. And he had an accident recently where he fell and broke his back, and has just made so much incredible music with so many amazing people. And I just had that existential feeling of like, oh man, what if he, joins the Heaven venue? Like, what if he, I want to share love on him and my people who are making amazing creations while they're still here. And so to have you on the podcast right now means so much to me, because you've been one of my favorite creators for a long, long time since I heard Lay It Down Really Truly, which is a lot of people's first pop off from you, just to take it all the way back to the root. That kind of went semi-viral or viral. And I know that was from a deep emotional place where that came from. That was a YouTube video first. That was,
a Facebook video first.
Video.
I was actively posting on Facebook as my main, I could say my main expression platform. Instagram taking that up after, and YouTube being at seasons in between. But yeah, it went 3 million on Facebook, and more so just invited a lot of community interaction. There are like thousands and thousands of comments. That wasn't all the way back, but that was certainly back. And it certainly threw me back. It certainly it did something. I'm just through, I feel like, some of the underworld that it, it had its beautiful function to just let me in to many people's lives. I mean, like I said, there were hundreds and thousands of comments, people sharing their story. The song Lay It Down is inspired by a lot of my homies that were really struggling, and myself struggling with opiate use, and a lot of them were dying. And so it's like kind of a poetic, metaphoric begging. The chorus is like, just lay it down, put your head on the floor, surrender to a power greater, or just like, come on, there's a lot of life to live. You had sparkle in your eye. The sparkle goes away when the priorities change. And a lot of people related with it. And that's the point I'm getting to, is it's really cracked me open, blown my mind, and oriented me into one of my other Octopus baby eggs, is this dharma of service around how to phoenix through and find your wellness or recovery or whatever that looks for you in this life, how to continue being perseverant. And I'm finishing, my counseling certification and my CDC2 and different things to work with people and artists. Particularly, I noticed there's this crossover of artists and humans who do struggle with their health and wellness and sobriety and mental health. And sometimes it's like, just the sensitive ones that if we can be in support with each other or have healthy outlets or community, which I think is the opposite of, they say, addiction, opposites not sobriety.
Yeah, that rat study,
connection.
Right? You heard about the rat study?
Yeah.
Where they give rats like water laced with cocaine when they're isolated, and then they do the same thing when they're in like the rat heaven playground and no one touches the laced
there was
water.
Plenty to do and be with each other and play and cheese and fun. And so they weren't running the cocaine water the same way when in isolation there was, no connection. And so, of course, they're going to seek some endogenous endorphins or dopamine, but we can also get that oxytocin and dopamine. Now it's like, it's definitely an uphill thing, especially you got people being born, and this is a whole ass other podcast to talk about like the hormonal and neurological health of us humans at this like rate of stimulation, and some systems being more sensitive to that than others. And so you have proclivities of people to be drawn towards self-soothing in different ways. But like for facts, there are frequencies of music that are soothing for everyone. It's not all the same frequency for everyone, but like that's
great
just
connector.
That's just the great connecting music, the healer. And so, I just keep showing up for class around how I can assimilate what I feel, what I'm learning, what's helped me stay alive till this moment. And like you said, and Scott inspiring you to, we're alive now, we have love, let's share it. And be able to sit and chop it up and like geek out on all these privileged ways that we want to serve and do and make a livelihood from, and like keep pushing in the industry that seems like a feelingless beast that actually doesn't care whether we find this hope or inspiration or not. All the more reason to have the conversations of like, yeah, you're important. Whatever one little thing or hundreds of things you want to do, it's like, yeah, don't maybe listen to the I mean, the algorithm's a hell of a drug, but
True that.
yes, lay it down. Lay it down definitely was powerful to connect and find a audience and fan base. Like it grew my platforms and people were really engaged, but I got pretty frozen because I didn't know how to not take on the intense grief of everyone who was sharing with me in those comments. Like, I lost my brother, I lost my mother, my sister, my son, my husband's kind of so MIA with this for XYZ reasons. And I could feel everyone, and that's cool. And now I'm like becoming a more skillful empath and how to feel everyone and keep moving and be a function and service and not just get absolutely waterlogged with grief.
What a skill. What a skill to navigate as a channel that you are.
Productive in the world.
You were telling me about channeling the spirit of Amy Winehouse.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and speaking of opiate use and just all that, I mean, maybe you want to pick up the guitar for this story.
Yeah, alcohol, I think, was her, I don't want to misquote. I don't know if she ever got into opiates, but like alcohol was just as heavy for her. And really, furthermore, what I learned from her biopic and as I study and feel into her catalog and in general, it's like heartbreak and attachment systems and nervous dysregulations can be the gnarliest drug of all, right? Another human being we can give the power to
testify,
kill us, like kill your validity of existence. And Amy to just, I mean, there's a lot of great conversations about right, wrong, good, bad, and what she did or didn't, or should or shouldn't have been placed in, right? Like people were like, nah, she was a writer, an expressionist, like a little pub jazz bar singer, and she shouldn't have been scaled into that level of spotlight without correct support and ecosystem. But truthfully, it's like, she found, this is a Bukowski quote, she found what she loved. The quote is, find what you love and let it kill you. Now, in the grimmest sense, she found what she loved and she let it destroy her. And I wouldn't say like, yeah, the substances didn't help, but it was this identity outside of herself, this person, this man, her beloved, and she found him, and then she let not being with him kill her. Move you into such grief and despair that music and the channel and the muse functions for a while to keep you afloat when I believe you're genuinely that waterlogged, but like you'll drown. And the original peoples, a lot of like, I have a Lakota elder who speaks of alcohol and being in alcoholism of like, choking on tears, you're drowning in grief. And if you have a proclivity towards that, and if one person has this problem, then we all do. And that's the issue these days, is we have this hyper individualized, and like men make it a whole thing. Like, you think Amy Winehouse doesn't represent the whole microorganism of the most vulnerable feminine heart that like just, yes, I get it. There was imbalances and incongruencies with going about stuff, but I wonder if we just like, looked at different things as the emanation of our wellness or unwellness more, we could keep learning how to be with emotions well, instead of just like, externalizing or glamorizing or making it just a tabloid. It's like it's a real indicator of collective health, and the barometer can often be, and that's why back to like, the opioid epidemic or I learned this month in June more stats than I knew, because it's Men's Mental Health Month, which should be humans every month, mental health, tuning in with each other. But I did, learn some more stats that this is a enormous epidemic of let me change that up. It's an opportunity to listen to parts that haven't found their voice in the collective human biome. And a lot of that is suppressed male emotion and safety around that. We're still figuring out the puzzle of like what's needed, what's true, and how can we make space for that and validate it in a real way, not just saying you're safe to cry and then judging. You feel me? Like what does it really look like to move emotion together in solidarity and because then it falls on some individual, and that's all well and good. I think a lot of artists are consciously or unconsciously participating in the way they've been designed or equipped to move a larger burden of collective emotion. You feel me? I wonder. That's just a physics theory. But Amy, if I could only, you said some shit like reincarnate or channeling her, that would be so cool. I have adored her. That would be an answer to one of the collabs for sure if I could bring her back. And she was really present I was flying over to Spain last fall for a few things. I got to meet up with my boy Ali, Gemini Moon Collective.
Shout out.
Yeah, much love. We've got this record, Mad World, which is good. Like everything we're talking about. And it's such a sweet song. And we have another, I think, coming out called Strange and Crazy Game, similar topic. I love this song that's coming out. And I was also heading there for the wedding of one of my first music managers and dear friend, Lulu Simone, and Souls in Action Collective. Damn, there's been so many chapters of this journey. We'd need like a 10-hour.
We'll get a part 2 for sure.
Yeah, we'll get a part 2, but I was flying there and I watched that biopic of Amy Winehouse's, and I was in some challenging heart season material. So I was overly relating. I was like, oh shit, if I don't, wisen up and tighten up, then like I could also drown in grief here by placing my love outside myself in another human being. And the actions they do or don't take, like it's slippery, and it's so poetic and seductive as an artist to like be distraught and be in agony and feel valid only if you are suffering. And for so long I identified with like, yeah, I'm valid only as a suffering artist. And I didn't realize it's changed. I mean, like it hasn't been such a conscious process of like, I don't identify with that anymore, but I'm sitting here right now today. And I think the courage to be joyful and honor all of it. But like, that's an artist that I would look up to as someone who can maintain some semblance of joy and humor up in this shit. Like, suffering's cool, and I get it. And I'm so grateful for what I'd say is over a decade of really severe dark, because it's given me an access point and compassion and understanding. And I am not talking out my ass when I say to someone, yo, like alchemy's possible, no rush, but I believe in you. And if it's not for the faint of heart, and it's discipline if you want it and all that. But I used to not even identify with anxiety or depression. I know people would say that, and I didn't know. I didn't know. Didn't know till I know. But I still sit on believing it's just a lot of stagnant processes that need to be waded through. I think there's like, cellular, belief system, biochemical, traumatic impact, developmental, cultural, ecosystems, internally, externally, and there's like mad variables. Anyways, everyone's experience is valid, and courage, which I believe breaks down into the fierce pushing through with your heart in times when, we've kind of made like, at moments it's been like love and like that's not cool. I remember there's a Mac Miller. Okay, that's my other collab. I'm bringing everyone back from the dead. Damn.
Heaven is a venue, baby. Heaven
is a venue. Yeah, I'd say a collab track with Andy, Amy, Mac. Those are definitely 3 hitters. Unfortunately, they are not embodied. But Mac has an interview where he's all like, yeah, when did it become corny to like try? And when did love and like positivity, like, fuck, we got so backwards that it's way cooler to have this, you know, Xanax culture and like be the like the apathy and I love the tones that come from that. I love the Billie Eilishes. I love the frequency that's in this grog and depth of like the grief field, but with interesting kind of highs, you know, high ends pulled. I mean that metaphorically, but I don't know. It's gotta be cool. It's gotta be cool to try.
It is dark, but it's shining light.
It's gotta be
shining light on the culture.
Kind of make some way.
Yeah.
It's like when it's dark, it means it's pulling all the way down. There's like depths. And sometimes you just got to surrender to those depths of feeling really hopeless. My nails are kind of gross and I got to cut them, but.
Just a taste. Come on now.
This was basically after all that Amy Winehouse in my field. I kept seeing or hearing her in like restaurants were playing Amy Winehouse, or a taxi would pass by playing Amy Winehouse, or a busker on the street, and I was like, oh shit, she's around. Like this is here, and why don't I just go ahead and let myself write a heartbreaking apart, I'm so codependent and I have no control over it, Sweetie Pie song. And that was brand new for me because everything else is like acid rap or some like reggae soul revival kind of chant down Babylon, chant up love, or these kind of complex mental health things where I was finding a resolution always of like, you are your own hero. I never wrote something that was like yeah, just love's got you in a corner. And so that's this. There's nothing no one can say. There's nothing no one can do to save me from myself now and stop me from loving you. I love it when you hold me, especially because I'm crying, even if the reason is because of the way that you're lying. No shot I'll ever get closure. Come close and tell me I'm fine. Might spend my whole life wondering if this is all part of the design. I did the second verse instead of the first, but it's still, you get the idea. Yeah. That type of permission slip and genre-less exploration. But it felt sweet and it saved me from like really ideating pretty hard on a 7th floor rooftop at that time in the grief of it all. And I was just like, you know what? Just laugh at how heart squabbled you are. And it was like, I'm aware it's didactic, attachment theory at best, but when I hear from you, lovely, is the only time that I get rest. There's nothing no one can say. There's nothing no one can do to save me from myself now and stop me from loving you. Because people tell you what to do and I'll kick that, kick them or drop them. We all know well and good you ain't done.
It's a razor's edge of truth that we're walking on our own individual paths.
Yo, how to tight walk, how to keep a tight walk, how to tightrope walk, your own, and only you know your balance skills. You push it.
It's amazing though how just sitting down with the guitar and like getting it out right there and live and direct is such a cathartic release. I know that has been huge for you in the last like 10 years or so. Like you really picked up the guitar and been transferring a lot of your emotions through that. I know you've got some amazing collaborators too in those realms. Shout outs to Naya, shout outs to Penner, your homies who are you're collaborating with currently in real time. Hopefully by the time this podcast drops, there'll be at least some teases of what you're cooking
for sure.
With those homies.
I think Jungle Mind will be out with Naya Kete, Lee John on the percussion and mixing mastering. It's an awesome song that's speaking to, again, everything we're on, like the jungle of the mind and its vines and its swirls. And my verse is something about like, I think the problem lies first up in duality. Good, bad, right, wrong. Labels might be tragedy. Anything divisive definitely drain your battery. So please just take my image and then go ahead and shatter me. I've certainly been Phoenix. I've certainly been Pawn. The jungle in my mind doesn't take a day off. The vines growing up, they'll wrap around your neck. Finding voice up in the rhythms, only way we stay in check. We do it piece by piece. We do it step by step. Step by step. And then this big, lovely production is a reggae tune. Naya's so incredibly talented is a word that falls short. It's not I could use the word talented for you. There's people I could use the word talented for, but it like doesn't do it. Because there is a felt sense, somatic experience with these people, the amount of space they've made in their system to bring through stories of their own or others or the collective, and God supported it moves through in a way where your instrument, for example, you or I'll stay on topic with Naya or Pinner. I mean, everyone's just tuned in their perfect way, and it's like anyway, such an honor to meet. Yeah, mad individuals on the road to the Wizard of Oz to find out you are the wizard all along. That was my first. You can ask my dad. I rinsed that movie. I might make I have a mixtape. I have a bunch of beats using samples from the Wizard of Oz. And I watched it about, I don't know, he said hundreds of times. He said I watched it hundreds of times. I can sing all the songs, but it's pretty powerful retrospectively looking at that film and being like, why did I fuck with it so hard? Why did I resonate? And it's the hero's journey. And it's got the hold up at the field of poppies, and poppies being opium, and the amount of life that opiates have, I'd say paused for me. And I was about to say life that they've taken, but really I have, a reverence with the poppy and the original kind of opium compound and the opiates that the receptors we've abused. And like, that's a whole part of the Wizard of Oz, the Yellow Brick Road. You like find all these characters thinking they'll fix it for you or do it for you, or at least make the journey fun. That's really all it is. They inspire the journey and make it fun. And so these people you're mentioning now that I'm honored to travel with, create and share with, I'm learning a lot from, and they're making it fun and possible. And we all get a little sleepy in the poppy field, and then we pick each other up and keep going. I don't mean that really. We're not like all stopping and doing heroin, but like we definitely have our own kind of vices of the mind or patterns or substances. And like, that's when your people staying close is huge, not just leaving you in the forest of your own mind. And that happens too. And only you can pull yourself out.
But we do have each other. It is this collaborative world. And I want to take a second to ask you here on the Love Show Radio podcast, like you've shared so much of your heart.
I've been rambling.
Well, I just mean like in general, you've shared so much of your heart with the world. And you've loved us up in that way with the way that you share your gifts. It really does move us as consumers of the art, those that are looking for something and have been fortunate enough to find you and what you're bringing through from your life path. So I just want to ask you here on the Love Show Radio podcast, like, how can we show you love? How can we show you love, Lily Fangz? How can we as the general population show you love?
It's a good question. Yeah, on some corny shit like love yourself, please. That informs the vibration of reality I would like to participate in. So take it really seriously. One way you can show me love is like taking your self-knowledge journey seriously. And then from there, take your journey of like listening to others, like work on your listening skills. Yeah. And then musically or artistically express yours, and also honor people who have been really maybe putting in their elbow grease, their 10,000 hours in their expression. It's a yes and. You know, I'm a little bit of a curmudgeon sometimes in like everybody can't rap off the rip. You know, like I do think we should, okay, I won't tangent too hard right there.
Love it.
I'll ask for the specific. Find an artist or two or three that you can really ride with. Dig into their catalog, see if there's some direct one-to-one contact you can make. See what type of support is available to you for them. And that could just be, show love, share. Sharing goes a long way. Cop their catalog, pull up on a show, cop merch. Really go hard on the human to human thing, because we have a lot of cyborgian and algorithmic and corporatized calibrations going on. And so the organic interfacing means more and more. I'm very grateful to receive tons of messages, as I've said, throughout my career that are mostly love. And that's word. And I believe it's because I check in. My come from is love. And that's what I'm here to put out. And so the physics of that is like, I do feel you've shown love. Thank you. And if there's ways that feel, available to get more intimate with artists of your resonance, like do that, even if it's an extra step or two. And maybe they, like myself, offer different services or counselings or all. You know, I'm very divergent in the areas I work in, especially as I mature as a person and teacher and woman and facilitator, and not just
a rap god.
Not just a rap god, underwater octo nerd of different ways. Yeah, I'd like to give and be sustained in existence. And so like, if we can get close and see what those ways are. I know I'm being pretty vague and abstract, but it's my job to make that available. Or not, I might continue to be hella cryptic. And if you give then you will dig for those people or artists or points of what do I think of people as, like these antennas? And if you're vibing with their station, take the extra step and like see what's up and how some of your life force can support their life force and keep it moving if you want to see more of that in the world. But mostly, just listen to good music and maybe be a conscious consumer around what we're putting our attention, energy, and money on, because there's only going to continue to be like a really interesting spiritual warfare and saturation level of noise. So be vigilant in your crate digging through the noise in all senses of the word. Definitely spin our new track and dance to it. Dance. That's how you can show me love. Like, dance, fool. Dance out in the street. Like, put your headphones on. And anyone watching this, I challenge you. If you've never done this, this will be big. If you've done this before, it's whatever to you. I know you have danced out in the street in your headphones. I dance in the street in my headphones. If you're worried about looking weird and okay, then stay worried, but do it anyway. And that would be my favorite thing, is if you could just give yourself one track that you know makes you dance, put it on, put your headphones on, go outside publicly where there is, human beings, and like be a little bit eccentric, because those ripple effects, we don't understand the physics of it all sometimes. And we do know enough of the zoom out to know that one thing affects another thing, and that whole butterfly shebang is like, be that ripple and, you know, tip the domino in a good way, where it's like, maybe you don't get to see the fruit from the fruit trees that you plant today, but plant them anyway, dance anyway, sing anyway, love anyway, because we do die, and these bodies are mad temporal, even if we figure out some fire technology that sustains it. And like, love your people, call your people, pull up on your people, touch your people, sing to your people, you know, feed your people, whatever it is, like, maybe whatever it is, maybe do it. Whatever it is, maybe go for it, and like, check that part of yourself that is the internal monologue that's an asshole, and let them sit in the backseat. They don't have to drive anymore, because we need less assholes driving, and we need more people picking good radio stations driving and rolling down their windows and banging out the system. So like, that's all. And, you know, fuck the rules, fuck the genre. And, oh yeah, cop some gear. That's a straight, easy way to support. Get in touch, send one of your favorite sweaters and we'll print it up, or just cop a freshie and rep it. And give other people permission slips. And thank you for letting me ramble.
So good. You heard it here on the Love Show Radio podcast. We're going to give you that opportunity right now to dance your little booties off in the street.
Woo.
So without any further ado, here is the exclusive preview of our brand new song, Feel Like This, for everyone.
Does it feel like this when you know you missed something you wish for the last time? For the last time. Sit in silence, thoughts like sirens, minds still racing, run them tyrants, overthinking every step. Should've been calm, but I let fuse. Could've been cool, but I picked bad moves. Would've been love, but the script got skewed. Stuck in a ripped up mood. Should've been gone when the signs turned red. Could've been saved by the lines I said. Would've been peace, but I fed that dread. Now I'm up late with a war in my head. I wonder, does it feel like this for everyone? Does the moon miss the morning sun? This for everyone. Does it feel like this for everyone? Does it feel like this for everyone? Does it feel like this for everyone?
You've been listening to the Love Show Radio podcast. If this episode moved you, made you laugh, or made you feel a little more human, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share it with someone you love. Till next time, keep your heart open, your breath deep, and your playlist soulful. Tubby Love signing off.